Welcome to another very fun episode of Making It with the Mackins. We have two very special guests. One who we've semi-hosted before for some of our previous subscribers. Two is just an old friend, and they actually know each other very well. So we're very excited to have Aimee Thomas and Jeff Kurkjian.
Yes.
Formerly of Jeff and Aimee in the Morning. Back with us for the first time ever.
I never remember after I do podcasts with you guys.
I know. Well,
I'm like, wow, I wonder what happened.
It's usually at night and we're drinking.
I was going to say, this is an 11 a.m. record. Is everything going well with you guys?
Well, we're still drinking. It's okay.
We're at the end of a late bender.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, that you and I have been back together on any sort of formal anything since like 2022.
Outside of
right?
Yeah,
FaceTime.
since we broke up.
Outside of, the breakup. God, that was tough. Man, I wish there were cameras following us around with that. That would have been one hell of an amazing reality TV show right there.
It would
And
have.
Amy's still wearing all black in mourning of losing you.
I know. I did wear a black shirt. Is this black? Yeah, I wore
you're
black
very
for
on
you
brand with
today.
us.
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing black.
Of
Jeez.
course,
We love
duh.
that. We love
Thinner.
that.
It does
Always
make you
true.
thinner, yeah. But it is the first time. I'm so excited. I missed you.
I know. I miss
I mean,
you
it's
too.
like all the time, but
We're just going to be here. You two can talk the whole time.
We actually didn't want to talk. We just wanted to see you guys run it back one time.
Thanks for the
So
studio
go ahead.
time, guys. Appreciate it.
No music, though.
on Mackin's dime.
Yeah,
Oh
hey,
my
whatever,
gosh.
You know.
Yeah. Just
But we're excited to have you guys. Obviously, we talk to you a lot. We don't get to see you enough, but we thought it'd just be a fun time to talk, get back together, the fams.
yeah, what are you doing in Pittsburgh?
We just finished a geography lesson.
Yeah, we did. We pulled up a map.
Okay. He's not in Pittsburgh.
Philadelphia.
I
close-
know.
Other side of the state.
A lot of history in Philadelphia. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
bell there.
There's
the
the
Liberty Bell.
The Liberty Bell.
I
Good
knew
job,
that.
yeah. I'm a big history buff.
Real quick,
Yeah.
when I did go to visit Jeff and the baby and Emily, I told him first and foremost, don't want to see history, don't care about
100%.
don't care about the bell.
We don't
I don't
me
give
there.
a
I
shit
don't need
about
to see
Ben
a bell.
Franklin.
Romy has a bell at home. We're sick of it.
We're
Thanks.
good. So we did pumpkin patch and drink wine.
A lot of wine.
Yes.
There was a lot of wine, a lot of tears, a lot of cuddling with my baby. She was small then, too.
was
That was
tiny,
like,
tiny.
she's 16 months now, which is just crazy.
I
Being
know.
a dad is
You're a
like
dad.
the best. And I can't even, like, looking at the two of you and hearing the stories and seeing the updates on social media, I'm like, God bless. Like,
Yeah.
I only have one crazy. You know, the last time we were supposed to do this together,
Amy canceled.
It happened.
I'm
You
just
guys
kidding,
got
you
a
did it.
dog, right?
Oh, that's right. Kevin's
is-
anniversary is exactly 1
how
year
is
ago.
that
This
going?
today.
God.
That's right. That's right.
I
We
don't.
don't
I
like
can't
him.
publicly say it.
I will. No, I was actually telling Crystal at Glinda group here we're recording because they're thinking about it. I'm like, the cons outweigh the pros.
100%.
Until the dog hits like 7, like
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
the pros outweigh the cons?
Just like
We love
Dominic,
him.
it took him until 7 to sleep through the night. How exciting!
And I would say the same for our twins too. The cons outweigh the pros. But essentially, the dog, we love Kevin. We take good care of him. PETA
Yeah.
don't come for us.
That bitch,
But-
that motherfucker, literally has the lap of luxury
Yes,
at our
exactly.
fucking house.
And we spoiled him. We trained him very well at the beginning, and then she trained him very well at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
As a puppy, and he's still like, but now he's like that toddler stage where he's not good, and we don't really do a good job of retraining him.
Yeah, and he and here's my biggest qualm with him as Amy, and Amy is so gracious. She'll invite me to be on the radio with her, but as a lot of people know, mornings are not my thing. So when I have to get up, I have to prepare myself because I'm a whiny bitch, and that's what I do. I like sleeping, but this lovely, wonderful blessing to our family likes to wake up every fucking morning between 4:30 and 5:30 and just barks. And he's not in his kennel. He's not in his kennel anymore. He just barks and cries and barks and
He's
cries.
just needy. He just
and guess
wants-
who
Yeah.
gets up?
Where, not you.
I'm like, I can't do it. I didn't even want this.
She's got the sound effects. She's like trying everything with. She's like
Yeah, the high frequency
Like you know how
thing.
some people keep like a baseball bat or guns next to their bed. She has
I
like.
have remotes for Kevin.
But wait, where does
So true.
where
They're
does he
all
sleep?
lined up next to
Downstairs.
each other, and she's just like.
He's-
You put the baby gate.
He sleeps downstairs.
Yeah, and he has like he was kennel trained. He loves his kennel. But he's I was like, maybe Mackin's like, maybe he just doesn't like his kennel in the morning. Maybe he has to pee. I'm like, okay, leave him out. He's like, he's not getting into too much. But if he goes upstairs, he likes trash cans, and we can't risk him waking up anybody else in our home because sleep is.
No, the only person who will sacrifice their sleep is me.
That's the most
And
dad
you're
thing I've ever
doing
heard
the
in my
Lord's
life.
work.
It's so beautiful.
God sees you.
Yes, he does. There's a special place for dads in heaven with a lot of kids and dogs.
And the dogs.
Yes.
Exactly.
But I think we all can agree because you have a puppy right now.
Yeah, we do.
And when we were doing the show together, when I got Mac, and I Googled how long do dogs live for, because I couldn't wait for her. I was like, how long do I have to do this? And like, what do I do? But you said it's harder than the baby.
It's a challenge, yeah, and I think it's harder than a baby for this one reason, and I'll tell you why. It's the unconditional love you have for a human child. You can get over. Okay, your baby's crying in the middle of the night. You hold them, and then you have that moment. You're like, oh my gosh. When my dog does anything, craps all over the living room. I don't hold him, and I don't love him. I throw him outside. I don't care if it's winter. And I say, you go shit outside, please, because I don't have the same. And listen, I've always been a dog owner and a dog lover. So like people who say your dogs are your kids, I get it. But now that I've had a human child, it's like the unconditional love. No matter what she does, she'll be fine in my book. But like my dog, I'm like, I'll never forget. We adopted Ranger, our dog, in like April. And it was like June. It was pretty tough. We had a baby. It was like 8-month-old baby, 2-month-old dog.
Yeah, dumb.
And legitimately.
First of
So
all,
dumb.
So stupid.
You definitely didn't call us.
So our rescue dog passed away when McKinley was like 3 months old. Which
I remember
was so,
this.
So
I remember
tough.
your dog.
Pirate
Pirate,
was.
yes, I remember
we
that.
adopted
Best.
an 8-year-old dog, so you know.
Smart. You're past the 7-year itch. You're
Exactly.
good.
But then like there's this whole like dogs don't live forever, so we got him for like 3.5, 4 years. Best 4 years with a dog ever. But
a good
you know, it was
timeline.
very emotional. Emily asked me, my wife, she goes, when do you think you're gonna be ready? This is the holidays last year. And I said, I don't know, maybe when it gets warmer, like Memorial Day weekend. She was never. Way too early. I'm not ready. And I was like, okay. And of course, moms in the room, wives in the room, already had applied for a. Like, you have to apply if you're going to rescue a dog from some of these places in, like, March. And she's like, hey, I was just thinking maybe on your way home from work, you can go drop off and see this dog. I'm like, it's March. I said May. And now you're saying you want a dog? So we adopted a dog, a Bernedoodle, and he is so cute. But in June,
he is cute.
my mom was visiting. She was loving on him. And then that night, we're in bed. She rolls over and goes, crazy thought, but, like, how much does your mom love the dog? And I was like, oh, loves him. Why?
I know where she's going.
Exactly. She's like, well, do you think maybe a weekend away? She wants him for longer.
Keep him forever.
She wanted to give away our dog. And I entertained it for a minute because puppies are tough.
They are.
I would
They're
never
really
get
tough.
another puppy.
I think the trick is to get an older dog. I think that's...
And Emily said she didn't want to get an older dog now that we have a baby because she's like, well, if we have a dog for 4 years, it's going to die when McKinley's in kindergarten.
Yep.
So how
Very
much
traumatic.
more empathy do you have for parents now that you're a dad?
The empathy level.
Did you think you were a good parent before you became a parent? Were you that kind of person?
Let's be honest. Jeff Spawn is a dad his whole life.
I've always had the dad vibes.
That's
for sure.
He's always
don't see it.
giving
I
big
don't
dad
see it.
energy.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course. You
Yeah.
are such a nurturing, loving
I
human.
get razors delivered to my house, okay? That's the most dad thing in the world, okay? I have sweaters that are older than me, right? That are donated from my dad to me.
Oh my God, I love that.
Not to mention your election day pants.
Oh yeah, I have the same pants I wear every election day.
So you like
Although
embody.
I have a problem. I have a problem with this. Okay, all right.
Let's talk it out.
I don't ever get political because that's like basically
Neither do we.
suicide in our industry because you're going to piss off half the people and the other half of the people
Regardless.
don't want to hear it from us. But here's my one problem with the world right now. I have
Okay.
these election day pants. Thank you for bringing them up.
No
okay?
problem. Yeah,
I've
I
worn
love
them
them.
every election day since I've been allowed to vote, and they're American flag pants, right?
And they fit you still. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say.
Actually, though,
like in the last 8-12 years, like now American flags are only conservative and Republican. And I'm not going to sit here and say who I voted for. I voted for everybody in every but like now you can't have an American flag on your house, on your pants,
I
or
know.
on your car without people being like, he's a Republican. I'm like,
That's
we're
true.
all Americans, folks.
Well,
That's
you
true.
you could do that, but you could also. We have a friend who he is very conservative, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's and my brother went over and was like,
Shout out to CJ.
why don't you have like, because we like that's just who he is. He like totally
America.
America.
Yeah.
And he was like, why aren't you wearing like a MAGA hat? And he's like, look at me. Do you even question who I'm voting for?
He's 6'4", 300 pounds, mullet,
And it was
trucker hat,
so funny. So
jeans,
you
I'm already
you
screaming
may
it.
not
Right?
have to wear that. You could just have the look too
Yeah.
and be shunned. So
Yeah, I saw one bumper sticker. I'm not even kidding. In Pennsylvania, it's the state I live in, where Philly is, and it said "Jesus is my vice president," and I was like, "That's pretty messed up. Jesus isn't
vice?
even the president in your world."
wow. Yeah,
That's a
that's
diss,
sad.
bro.
But like once again, you know, you kind of know where he's aligned just based upon that bumper
well,
sticker.
I
but-
wish you would have worn your American flag pants here
I know.
today.
I
I would
should've
have
brought
liked to
them.
have seen them.
Yeah,
Are
but
there
to
holes
answer
in
your
them?
question, sympathy. Amy had her second when we were on the air together, not like live birth on the air, which is kind of what we wanted to do.
Next time, maybe.
You did have a go bag.
I did have a go bag ready to go if we needed to go
Good
to the
for you.
hospital.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Swear to
Yeah, I had peanut butter and jelly in there
And
and bread,
Truly's.
you know, just anything. First drink back.
Yeah.
There was a bottle of wine in there.
Yeah, you did have
really
wine.
one
Yeah.
of those big ones from
Nice little
Costco.
Magnum.
Yeah. So, but to your point about sympathy for parents, Amy went through it, right? She went on maternity leave, and here I'm the one complaining about being on the air by myself when she literally just birthed a human being.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like to think I had sympathy for moms,
Right.
especially mothers.
Sure.
Not even close.
No.
After
You
seeing
think
what
you
my
do.
wife did, oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
It is
Yeah, there are
crazy.
things you can
Oh my
only know once you really know.
And here's
so
the thing.
true. So true.
Don't fuck around and find out. Let me give you that advice because we went from 2 to 4, okay? And
Oh, gosh.
and when you have one, the baby really mom is really like depending on how you're feeding
Yeah.
her, whatever. Mom is really the one they go to. Well, when we had twins, he had to step up. Like I couldn't do it all by myself. So he really I think that's why we fought less with the twins because we both had to be accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have just
Yeah.
been too tired to fight.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Did you
And-
get your
and-
own lactation consultant?
I got my,
Or-
right here. All my, the moves were like strapped on.
But also maybe
Exact replica.
maybe
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't fight
great.
as much too because you were high on your Vicodin.
Percocets.
Oh, Percocets.
They gave me Percocets.
Well, mom was on Molly.
But
all
you
week.
know what's so yeah. I'm telling you, because I had to have a C-section with the twins.
Right, right.
And yeah, they gave me Percocets, and I'm like, what are these? Right? Because I've never, other pain pills they gave me, I got very sick and passed out at the hospital. It was terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got to a point where I was like chopping them up at the end so that I could.
rationing them off
Stop it.
so that,
That
she
is
wouldn't
amazing.
get
I was
addicted.
in pain, but the weird thing is when I take them, like everything just kind of got like smaller, and I don't know how people do this daily. Like everything just kind of got like that.
Well, it's called addiction. Most
Yeah.
of the time.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I think I'm almost, but those are strong.
They're-
Holy
yeah,
shit.
Not messing around.
No.
And, you know, if I can give one piece of advice for any, I mean, probably a lot of your listeners are already parents, but nothing makes me sadder than when I hear from, like when I'm not going to be able to be in the room or I can't be involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I
like
know.
front row center,
Yeah.
holding a leg, and it was the most
GoPro?
badass, cool,
Oh, yeah.
amazing thing I've ever been a part of.
Okay, so that's how you describe it. My husband Patrick described it as so when we had Jaden, he was talking to somebody, I forget who it was, who was about to have a baby, and he's like, "Listen, you want to be in there, you don't want to look, but you can't stop staring. It's like a car crash."
That's how he
And
explained
you
it to me,
can't-
yeah.
he's like, "It's a car crash, and you cannot stop staring at the craziest shit you've ever seen
Yep.
in your life."
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
Amy has 2, Jeff has 1,
Yeah.
both married, both happy.
That's a great question.
let's ask Amy for a live update.
Yes.
Because me and Amy share a lot of similarities when it comes to like,
Shit talking their husbands.
yeah,
Yeah.
but to each other.
Exactly.
Sometimes I tell the world.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, today we're great.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
What's going on?
Actually, you when I talked to Jeff, I said I was irritated with him. I forget why, and you're like, "Oh yeah, last time I just talked to you, you're like, oh, things are great, everything's awesome," and then I was like, "God, he's so annoying."
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you this much: when we moved across the country to Philadelphia, and
All the way across.
Patrick, Amy's husband, actually reached out to me, and you know, of course, we were really, really sad to leave, and he was upset at me for leaving because he knew he now had to shoulder a lot of the
Oh, wow.
responsibility
That's a
for
true story.
dealing with Amy's frustrated rants about work or about family or about whatever. And he said, I'm still going to need you to like be there for my wife. Cause like he would even say at times, like, this seems like Aimee, a Jeff conversation, like something you should talk to him about.
He would text me like, for all of these issues and then send me Jeff's number.
Oh my God. But you guys worked together for how long?
Great.
How long were you guys in studio
4.5 years?
4.5 years.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
guys just like clicked.
Yeah, instantly. It was so weird. We went to dinner and we started having this conversation with like 3 of our bosses, and they just didn't say a single word the entire time.
Yeah.
And we just talked and they watched, and it wasn't even weird because I feel like we were just like having a really good, like fun conversation. And then he spent the night at my house.
Well, let's hold on. Let's stop here for a second.
Period.
Let's add some context.
Guest room. Right? No one's swinging here.
Comma. The night before our very first show because he didn't have anywhere to live yet.
Oh, that's a great. Okay.
That's a good story.
So we did the interview, and you're right. It should have been way more uncomfortable because there's these 3 bosses of ours, all 50-plus-year-old men, and we went out for Italian and we had wine, and basically, Amy's right.
The first thing in common we had was when we ordered wine, and we were at
T-Bones?
Town Square. It's at Town Square, the Italian restaurant.
Brio.
Yes.
Brio.
And they said, "Do you want the big or small glass?" And we both were like, "Big." I'm like,
Love you.
Company card was out, so I'm getting the big one.
Heck yeah.
And we knew that, and so we were just chatting, and it was like, as silly as it sounds, it's like love, but she's my best friend, so I love this girl. It was like nobody else was in the room. Like, we were the only people in the restaurant. We're just laughing, having fun.
So
and I remember them even looking, like, one of our bosses looked at Sean, who was our program director at Coyote Country, and said, like, Sean, do you have anything you want to add? And he's so far back in his chair, and he just goes, nope. I'm just enjoying.
I've done my job.
He did it.
And this was interview time, so I hadn't even gotten the job yet, right? And and Aimee was still on a different station.
I was going to say, where were you before that? I forgot.
R.I.P. Light 101.5. I don't even know what it was.
Wait, but that's how you got hired. Wait, you were because Aimee worked at. Well, I've known Aimee. I don't know. People don't. I don't know if everybody heard our episode.
No,
with
it was
just
premium
Aimee.
only. Yeah.
We met. Aimee's uncle was the drummer at my dad's show.
Yeah.
And he's Uncle Pete. Uncle Pete was part of our family since I was born. So I met Aimee. We were in middle school.
I would say before that.
And the minute I met you, you were hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
I literally. And
Nothing's changed.
My sister. I know. Hilarious. Every time she came over, I think we peed our pants. Me and Maria, my sister.
Yeah.
But wait, I forgot what I was saying.
We've just known each other for a really long time.
We've known each other for a long time. But you worked at T-Bones, and then you were a bartender there for a while, and that's how you got hired into radio, correct?
Yeah.
Because she's so hilarious.
Because I was so funny.
Really
It's
is funny.
That speaks volumes. It's one thing to like say, oh, this is what I want to do, and you go to college like me, and you spend way too much money on an education, and you say, this is my dream.
But you know what like a map is. So
and I don't even know where Pittsburgh is.
Right. Oh my God.
It's like picking out an offensive lineman.
I
Like,
know
oh,
that
he's
they're
going
the
to be
Steelers,
good.
though.
He's gonna be
He's going to be a beast in the NFL.
Right. It's like some of the blind side, and some are like,
exactly.
these guys have been trained.
Yeah, this is why it's a good yin and yang. Like you guys she's so easy to talk to in general. You
well,
are.
I think, and then we talked about Jeff wanted to plan our show, like how it's gonna go, right? And he's still on the East Coast, right? Cleveland's over there.
Yep, that's correct.
Mid East Coast.
Okay, and
By those
so
lakes.
it's different time zones, and he had just accepted the job, so we're gonna be together, and he's like, hey, let's talk. Like it was like a couple weeks before we started the show, and so he has like Google Docs set up, like probably 8 of them.
What are those?
And I honestly was like, I don't think I have that. He's like, Google Docs? I'm like, I don't think so.
I'm like, do you have a Gmail? She's like, I have one of those. Like, then you have Google Docs.
At AOL.com.
Oh gosh.
Do you have an instant messenger?
It was
Danielle still has a
Hotmail.
Yahoo.
Swear, I was like, I have a Gmail. So he's like, yeah, let's get signed in there, and I'm gonna send you an email. Click the link. So we're doing this whole thing on FaceTime. Mind you, it was like 3 o'clock my time because you're gonna go
2 o'clock your
2
time.
o'clock, and he's like, maybe we can do like have a glass of wine and do this whole like we'll set up the show, the format, like what we're gonna do, and he's like, oh, it's gonna be 2 o'clock your time. I said, that's okay.
This girl was in her office and she already had a bottle underneath. Yeah, we're good. 2 o'clock's fine. I mean,
What
the
are
biggest
Google
door
Docs
I've
again?
ever seen. So when I get hired, I come out here and I was staying at a hotel, but I was too afraid because they only booked me. I thought I was going to be in my apartment by the night before the show. I wasn't. And I was too afraid to ask the company that just hired me, hey, I need one more night. I was young and stupid and didn't realize how fat their wallets are. And so I call Amy and I'm on my way back and I'm like, hey, I have nowhere to stay tonight.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, you got to come stay with me. I bring in my whole life.
But what did I say also?
What?
I said, I'm not cleaning my house.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my question. Is like, how did you? What type of host were you? Did he get the guest bedroom with the mint on the pillow?
No.
The best part,
The
I bring
couch
in,
just drop your shit
I
off.
had 2 duffel bags with my whole life,
Oh my
and
God.
I have my car, and I'm like, all right, well, here, and I come into the living room, I get to see Patrick, her husband, Amy, of course, I meet her son, Jaden, and we're all just kind of sitting there. I'm standing in the living room, they're sitting on the couch, I got my duffel bags with me, and after about
Make yourself comfortable.
maybe close to 10 minutes, Jaden, who, if I'm not mistaken, was 9 or 10 at the time,
Yeah, 9. Yeah,
9 at the time, kind of looks at his parents and goes, can I help you with your things, please?
Oh my God.
Like,
what a good boy.
are these idiots not going to like show you to your room? And he's like, I'll show you to upstairs. And Amy's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, great idea. So
Way to
standard
make a
Amy.
good impression, Jaden.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, and best kid in the world. That kid.
a
And
host.
Amy says a number of times, I don't know who raised him. I don't know how
I have
he's
no
that
idea.
great. And she doesn't give herself or her husband
I
enough
know, you
credit. But
guys
he's
are
a
good.
great kid.
He's
Oh,
a
what
good
a
kid.
kid.
Yes.
This actually, this just happened on Tuesday. We went down. I actually got dressed up for the first time in, I don't know, months to go to the Bellagio. We had a dinner. It was like this NFL thing. Brought the boys. It was the college. What was it? The college Hall of Fame induction or something.
Okay.
And so I brought Jade and the boys. They got all dressed up, and we went to dinner, and it was awesome. Then we went to the botanical garden.
Yes.
Got some pictures in the flowers.
Nice.
And we were leaving, and this man came up to me, a cowboy, NFR.
Yeah.
He said something along the lines of like to take me home or something.
Ooh.
And Jaden said, she's married.
Your security guard.
And so I swear. So then I think I wasn't even really paying attention to what was going on. Weird. And then I swear, because I don't know the whole thing. And then the guy told Jaden, I know what I want, little man.
Whoa.
And Jaden
Oh, no.
said, I told you she was married, and like ushered me over. And then I was like, what did you say? And he said bad words that I won't repeat in front of you. But like, he was like,
Oh my God.
I know.
We love
him.
that.
I love it.
Oh.
It would make me, I was like, damn, you are old. Like you are like,
first of all,
He's
like
a
a
grown-ass
man.
man now.
I'm like walking by construction sites to get some kind of hit on now. I'm like, what the
She's
fuck do I
soliciting
have
catcalls
to do?
left and right.
I'm like, hello.
no, not the.
Want me to hold the sign?
Hey, I'm here. I'll let my spank show so it looks like I have a thong on.
No, I told you I had 3 pairs of Skims on.
Oh
That's
my
why.
God. I'm like trying to get hit on. No one hits on me.
Oh my God.
Not that I want, it's just like, good for you.
But what I so you guys have boys and girls. I just have. I mean, my stepdaughter is. She's just good and like
She's
she's not the
amazing.
classic. Like girl that you
Right.
would, so she's always been good. She's 22 years old, just good.
Yeah.
So I think I always say like boys are just. I mean, are easier, right?
I mean, I would heavily argue that, at least based on our age of our boys, like the twins. I mean, you kind of know with Romy, like
Yeah.
that 6-year-old age is fucking batshit crazy to have 2 boys
Yeah.
trying to emulate 12-year-old boy and
Yep.
running amok all day long. It's the
yeah.
dynamic of the old young mix that just makes life crazy.
We
for
have
us.
to like run, like how if your dog misbehaves, you run them. Like you got to run them. Like
Yeah.
so they-
Yeah.
We need to do that with Dean and Leo, so to just have any kind of like solace in our home, because Leo is a bull in a china shop,
all day long.
but Vivian, which you have a girl,
Yep.
Shout out to McKinley.
Yep.
yes,
What up? What up?
God, Jeff's twin.
Is it named after the president?
It is.
No,
William
it
McKinley
Buffalo
was the
resident?
president.
buried in Buffalo. If you want to go see his grave,
Yeah.
you are more than welcome to come to
Next
Buffalo.
time we're in
Very
Buffalo.
true. I gotta come to
I'm
Buffalo.
serious.
Not this time of
The
year.
only no, but it's
Because
that's
I'll be
true.
buried in Buffalo if I go there right
Yeah, you
now.
will.
Yeah, it'd be a scary
And he's got
place.
Syracuse
Good one.
roots. It's
Yeah.
all connected.
I know.
Dads.
Really? That's cute. I didn't know that.
What's that?
Fun. I said you got Syracuse roots.
No. I said it's really cute
My
that you
brother-in-law's
named her.
from Buffalo too.
Oh,
so
there
I
you
got
go.
I'm
See,
starting to see the
Buffalo.
history.
history.
Is
Love
your next
it.
son going to be Benjamin?
That's not a bad
or
one.
George?
Well,
George Washington?
Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president, if that's what you were going
Oh,
for. Were you
whoops.
What up? Pop in.
Hi, this is Josh.
Hi.
This is
Good.
gonna play
Don't
Amy.
cut this out.
How you doing?
Amy, nice to meet
Josh.
you.
I'm Jeff. Nice to meet
Hi.
you. Very nice.
Crystal.
What's up, dude?
Hi,
guys.
Crystal,
Yeah,
I
good
said
to see ya.
Pittsburgh, but it's Philadelphia.
Right.
I was wrong.
Right.
Sorry. Isn't that the same? Yeah, see? Good company. We're in good company.
It's like Las Vegas and
Oh
Henderson.
my gosh.
The studio's amazing.
Hey, nice meeting you.
Good.
From radio personalities,
Yeah,
they
we love
love
it in here. This
they
is
love
really?
it,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
it's great. This is
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Well,
isn't
I'm
it?
excited for the episode. You look great in the camera.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, come back.
Oh,
Wagobi.
Now's a great
Arturo.
time to thank our sponsor.
Arturo, I wish. Can I get a sponsorship?
My God,
What a
for the
deal.
love
Oh,
of God.
Gosh.
Shit ain't cheap.
But girls, we were talking about. You said
Yeah.
boys, girls. You have boys. I have both. Vivian, I don't like to put this out in the world, but she is a vicious bitch to me. She is. She's horrible to me. And fucking loves him.
Yeah.
I'm a problem and he's an angel. So I'm in that age. She's 10. She's obsessed with Sephora, which is YouTube's fault, my fault, YouTube. And she gave us her Christmas list, okay? The boys are like bike, phone
Yeah.
case,
Football gloves, cleats,
something with wheels
Yeah.
that has an engine.
mud.
Yeah. I go, Leo, what do you want for Christmas? He goes, a dog keychain. I'm like, okay.
Easy.
He's a simple man. You know?
Vivian has a list for us, a list for Santa, and a list for her stocking.
And for your
Okay.
mom, yeah.
And then she has one for my mom, but my mom already got that in notes
Also
sent to
on
her.
Google Docs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she uses that. But she has, we went through her list from Sephora. We spent at least $300 on Dior lip glosses.
Oh my gosh,
and,
yeah.
And I'm like, it's what she wants, whatever, and I'll steal it, whatever. But girls are much more, they love their dads. And I could tell you, let me tell you something. As much as she is a bitch to me, I love her so much. I know I'm her safe place, so she can treat me that way.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's where we're at in life. But the biggest thing I learned is the way he loves me and loves on her is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
important
sure.
for girls to see their dads love their moms.
Well, I think bringing to that point about becoming a dad, I have become hyper aware now of like how I say things,
Yeah.
how I react to things, not just in general, like, but you know, they always say like my sister when she was dating her now husband, she was like, well, I just want to find somebody who treats me the way my dad has always treated my mom. And like, I don't know, I've never heard them yell at each other. I think they were a closed door argue because listen, they've been married 40 plus years. They 100% have argued, I guarantee it, but they kept it away from us. Maybe that's very unhealthy. But
No, I don't think it is.
but I
Well,
think it was always
Jaden's gonna
beautiful.
need
We'll let you know
Therapy.
because we do it in front of them.
I literally was just gonna say, Jaden's like, guys, let's talk about our feelings.
Yeah.
Like, stop yelling.
Well, I have a question for the more.
Getting you off,
Mom,
Patrick.
stop saying fuck you to dad.
Right.
Don't throw water in
Yeah,
daddy's
he
face,
is
Mom.
definitely your like middleman referee a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh.
for the three of you, because you've been married much
that.
longer than I have,
Now Roman is, don't worry.
Oh, perfect.
and
He's retired.
you've been parents for a lot longer than I have. The one biggest shock I've noticed about not only being married but also being a parent with somebody else is like you are a parent and a spouse to somebody who was not raised the same way you were.
Right.
So like the example of, and there's nothing wrong here. The example of my wife's parents' relationship is what she thinks of a marriage.
Yep.
My parents swept so much shit under the rug in their life, and that can, in its way, be very unhealthy, right? Her parents are like, let's hash it out right now. So we're both coming into this relationship with very different ideas of marriage, and then now that we have a kid, it's the same thing. Was
Yeah.
that challenging to like address like the differences on how you would discipline or the differences on how you would speak to your children or speak to each other in front of your children? Was that difficult?
There's-
Absolutely. That's why
there's-
we were in therapy for 5 years.
I was literally
we
gonna
had
say
the
that.
exact
Therapy.
same dynamic. I had a upbringing very similar to you. She had one very similar to Emily. Those parenting styles clashed. Our parenting styles clashed, and it was a fucking shit show for 5-7
Well,
years.
he also came from a very quiet home, like quiet.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never seen Daniel quiet.
Yeah.
Not even in the movies
No.
when you got yelled at in
Even when
Wicked.
she's alone,
Wait,
it's
I'll
loud.
tell you that story. But my family, my dad's an entertainer. My mom, I love her. I'm grateful she spanked us. I'm grateful she disciplined us the way she did because but that's what I came from. So, but to a fault, I overhear my children because I was never heard. So the parenting styles truthfully influence the way you, not just with each other, but the way you look at disciplining. Like my parents are like, shut up and move on. Like, I don't care what you say. Whereas I'm an over explainer. Like, well, you can't have that cookie because you already had dessert at Gauze. And then I give over explanation.
Because you felt you were never hurt.
Exactly. So those are, and nothing will wake your ass up than having children.
Yeah.
And go, wow. And like, and then another fault of mine, because I have so few.
Not just geography.
Just the only other
Just
one.
little one.
The only other one.
Is I've had to learn to shut up when he disciplines them because I feel like I have to like step in and protect them because like, no, I can be a crazy wild person. You need to be this person or whatever. And I've had to learn to be quiet and let him be a dad because that's his job, and I'm stepping on him doing that. And one friend of mine was like, Danielle, you need to let your husband be a dad. And I'm like, why?
I don't like those friends. I don't like those friends at all. I will never call a friend that I know is very even keel. Ever.
That's funny.
Give me the psychopath one so
Yeah.
I can be like, yeah, you're right, always. I'm like, yeah, I am. You're right. Talk to you later.
But it does. Having a kid never makes you look more at yourself in a mirror than anything, especially a girl, a mother raising a girl. I will say that. But you have boys. You probably like your boys love you.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, but like honestly, I mean, it's just like everything else.
Also,
like even Jaden, how great he is, we still fight
I
for
know,
sure.
but you fight, and it's like, but look at how empathetic he is and how kind of a person he is.
He really
great
is
host.
amazing.
Great host.
He is.
But even to that, to your point about like letting Patrick do his thing because he is the disciplinary. I for sure am not, but I'm like the psycho, right? Like, so I won't say anything, and I'm like, shut up,
Yeah.
and like lose
exactly
it. And
the
Patrick
same.
just stops it the first time, stop talking, or like whatever the case, right?
Yeah.
But now I know because I do allow him to, but I also will give Jaden like the don't stop it, it's coming, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I like give him the eyes and the
Yeah.
face, and I'm like it's coming, and then it's just
Sorry, bro. I tried
I
to
know
warn you.
I tried to warn
I
you, bro.
find myself getting anxious. I'm like, oh God, because he
you
hates
know-
noise. He fucking hates noise.
With 4 kids and a
That's
dog
what,
and
that's what, like, give me a
Danielle.
break. It's not like I'm in like a loud space. There are 17 people in our house at all times, always yelling.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the alive humans. I'm talking about the ones that they're watching on TV.
Yeah.
There's multiple
Yeah.
devices.
YouTubers are
So many
so
screens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, not so
Yeah.
many, but the YouTubers yell. I will give them that.
Hate it,
Only
hate
yell.
it,
They
hate it,
can't
hate it.
speak.
But he is so sensitive to sound, and literally, my grandpa was deaf, so all we fucking did was yell in my house. Like, if we were downstairs, we were not walking upstairs to get it. We were screaming to see who was upstairs to bring it down for us.
Yeah.
Lazy, loud.
100%. That was my family too. My mom's hearing terrible, my hearing terrible, my sister's hearing terrible. So like even to this day, I have major hearing loss. So like Emily will be like in the kitchen clanging dishes and be like, "Hey, can you do this?" Say, "What?"
No,
Just hit
God.
me with, and then she'll like. This is where we had the biggest impasse. Was like I would be like. I was telling myself, okay, I have to make more of a conscious effort to be in the room when she needs me, right? So if she's like, hey, can you blah, 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 and that's all I hear, I'm going to get up from the couch and I'm going to walk to her office and I'm going to be like, sorry, I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, what? Then
Or-
we're escalating,
or
and I
hearing
know it's on me, right? It's on my ears to hear this
The
stuff.
hearing aids,
hearing
they're
aids.
I
like
love that.
almost invisible at this point.
Just one.
And it's, trust me, it's been hard when I'm on the couch
I'm
and I don't want to
sorry,
get up. I'm like, you know
Is
what?
that genetic?
Yeah. Well, I was
Or were you
born...
screamed at so much as a child? you did?
Well, because none of us could hear.
Oh my
No, they just couldn't
God.
hear. Yeah.
Well, and part of it is we talk so loud is because I can't hear myself.
I don't have that excuse. I'm just loud.
So talk about being a girl dad. This is one of my favorite stories, and so I have a blood disorder. It's genetic. It's not a big
What
deal.
the fuck else is wrong
It's
with you,
fine.
Jeffrey?
There's lots
No,
of
there was a lot.
There's lots. There's lots.
We need to sign a medical form before
He's
we
one of those
continue.
you
babies. They're
okay?
like, oh god.
Here's the funny part. So it's a genetic thing. It's if my sister and I have it. Our grandmother had it, and so but we didn't know if my daughter McKinley was going to have it. So I got retested to check my levels of whatever the hell it is, and I was meeting with my hematologist, right?
Blood
And he's
doctor.
talking to me. Emily's like 6 or 7 months pregnant, right? And he's like, I was telling him, I'm like, well, I'm worried because the only time you really need to get tested is if you're going to have like a major surgery. They give you some medicine to help your blood clot before you go in for a surgery. So I'm like, well, what if like, God forbid, something happens in the birth and they got to like do a surgery on McKinley or something? Like, when do we get the baby tested? And he said, you don't need to worry about it. Obviously, if something happens, they know your history. They'll be able to test her quickly before
Right.
doing anything. Da-da-da-da. He's talking to me. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And then I started to black out because he said, But you definitely want to come see me right before she has her first period, and we'll just make sure this baby is not even born yet.
Oh my
And now you are thrusting me into the scariest moment of a father's livelihood is when their daughter goes through this time. And I literally, and he stops me. And I swear to all that's above, I don't think I've ever like blacked out that way before, besides from alcohol. And he goes, are you with me? And I don't know how long I quote unquote was out, but it transcended me.
What about that though did that? Is it because she's going to be an adult?
I think it's because, and we're definitely not diving into this, but like she wasn't real to me yet.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because mothers, when they're pregnant, I feel like have such a beautiful connection to their baby.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't hit you till she's in your hands.
us dads, we like are just like, you're a dad now. Hello. Like we don't really get that biological change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Besides, serving our wife hand and toe as soon as they, get pregnant. But
3 months in.
He didn't get that. No.
Literally, I was gonna say,
Maybe
you
it's just
actually,
me.
again,
Emily
luckily
tricked
to
you.
have you, because he would bring chairs in to put my feet up when we were.
This is why him leaving is so detrimental
you
to
know,
Patrick.
he was
You know how much money
pre-dad.
therapy is?
Oh, well, Amy, I feel weird cursing in front of microphones, so I'm just
No,
gonna
go
do
ahead.
it. Amy is fucking stupid. And I'll tell you why. Her ankles were a couple of tree trunks. Okay, I'm telling you. And I'm not talking like recently planted in the new build neighborhood.
Yeah,
We're
no.
talking like Pennsylvania.
Like redwoods.
Redwoods, 400-year-olds. So she's coming in, man, and you could hear her coming from down the hall, poor girl.
Couldn't even breathe.
She was walking up a stair. I'm like, we have an elevator, we could take that. So I bring in one of these lounge chairs into the studio, and we drag her microphone down so far. I can't even see her. I'm doing every second like this. And so I get a text from her mother. Her mom, Peg, love her, and she
Shout out to
says,
Peg.
hey, I want to let you know that her doctor has said like bed rest. She needs to be on bed rest. And I said, no shit, Sherlock. I didn't go to I didn't go
could've
be a
told you that.
doctor. I could see her legs need some help. So without telling Amy, I'm like, hey, you mentioned the word bed rest, and I'm being super innocent, pretending I don't know anything, pretending her mom didn't text me. Do you think it's time that you go home? Oh my God. Because I was, and this is scary. What's
Whereas
the
Patrick
word?
is like,
Preeclampsia?
Preeclampsia.
Yes.
Oh, you had that
That's
too.
serious. And so
worst.
she's like, no, I'm fine. I'm gonna clown.
And my voice was so deep because
I
when you're
know.
pregnant, your voice
right,
gets
yeah.
deeper.
We pulled up clips of Amy pre-pregnancy and like 9 months pregnant. I swear to God.
It's like, if
she
you've been
hit
in an
puberty
accident.
harder than I did. She was so deep. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, that day was your last day on the air.
It
'Cause I
was.
was like,
You
I was
kicked me
worried
out.
about
Oh, wow.
you. And I texted Peg. I was like, back to Amy's mom. I said, we got it covered. She's like going
Yeah,
home.
mission
And then
complete.
you were only on bed rest a couple days because you gave birth
Yeah, I
the
think it
next
was
week.
like 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Patrick's at home. He's like, "Oh, you're
You're
home?
here? Why aren't you working?
You're back already?
It's not 10.
Yeah.
Did Patrick text you that day? Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck,
he's like,
dude?
I thought we had a deal. You were gonna deliver the
You're
baby in the
supposed to be
studio.
husband 2.0 and help me out.
This is gonna be like 1920. He wasn't even gonna go to the birth. He'd just come home.
Just come home and there's the
I have a
baby.
baby for you. I didn't even know you were pregnant, hon. All right, make me dinner, please. All right.
I can't. Those are all true ass stories.
Do you ever imagine
True
how
stories.
truly depressed women were in like 1924?
I
the
can't
time.
imagine.
That's why they all
I
drink.
cannot imagine.
Dude.
I mean, what's my excuse?
I mean, like literally, men not even
I
going
can
to the
tell you, but not
hospital.
in here.
God,
I'll see him when I get home.
I know it's unbelievable.
It's crazy. But
Yeah.
men have come a long way thanks to
Yeah.
people like you, and Mackin's wonderful. He really is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yes, I
likes
am.
him more than me. Even my grandma was like,
Grandma
if
did for sure.
My grandma is like, if something happens, it's your fault, not his. He's a fucking angel.
She's in my side
That's
of
a
the
quote,
door.
right?
So sweet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fucking angel. That's what she said.
Amy's number one source of news is TikTok, and so I'm sure she saw this
Verified.
as I did.
Where?
Not to be cheesy on it, but I saw a trend where it's like moms filming their husbands, and it's saying this is the generation of hands-on dads, and I thought that was
Yeah.
so cool because. People can talk about the male ego and
Right,
people
right,
aren't
right.
men anymore, and people are. I'm like, fuck that, dude.
No.
Like, I want to be involved in my kid's life. I want to be there. I'll be the freaking dance dad, learning the choreography,
I know, you will.
and like help them learn it because it's gonna being an involved father or an involved mother for that matter. I mean, look at you. You're like
She loves
such a
her
football
job.
mom. Like,
Love my job.
You
My
love what
job
you
number
get to
two.
do. You're a girl or a boy mom through and through. I love to be as
100%.
involved as possible.
I'm good with sitting at home.
Whereas I haven't missed a practice, a dance
But
recital.
somebody has to watch the other
The rest
fucking
of
kids.
them, I
Somebody
know.
has to sleep until 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Somebody needs to have energy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. I do all the work so that she can be alive when the kids are awake.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
I mean,
But
yeah.
but the twins ruin everything whenever we go.
Everything.
So we have somebody does have to sit. Even Dom's like, oh, you brought them again. I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
to your
yeah.
game. But they don't sit
We
still.
thought a stadium could enclose them, but they can't.
No.
No.
The twins are great though. They're
Well, actually,
How many kids are you planning on having? You guys.
Well, I
Have you
mean,
talked
no
about-
more than 3 after hearing
Yeah.
all of these
No, I would
podcasts that
do
I've
two.
That's
listened
what
to.
you think. And then
Well,
you
no,
could-
what is the number you guys have talked about?
And I think this is what everybody says. I always thought 3 because it was always just me and my sister growing up. I know you're one of 2 as well, and so or
I'm
one
not.
of 3. I'm sorry. And so
mean-
I meant one of one girl. So wow, that was bad. Sorry, Alex. And so one of one. So I always thought like having a boy girl would be great. That's what I grew up with. But I always felt like I wanted like a younger sibling. But that's just because I'm the youngest. So like I never felt like.
So you could be the big bro.
But like I definitely think if it's like, you know, Amy's parents had 2 girls and then they had a boy later, and I was like, well, if I have 2 girls, I always wanted to have a boy. Like there's
Yeah.
only so many boys on the Kurkjian side, and
gotta
as
keep the
selfish
name
as
alive.
it sounds, I want to keep the name alive.
Of course, it's a great name.
So like if we have 2 girls, honestly, I think we'll try for a third couple years down the road. But if we
And
end
then
up
if
with
it's
a
not
boy,
a boy, we just gonna keep going.
no, 3 girls, we're done. I can guarantee. I think 3.
God, let me know after 2 how
I'm
you're
always
doing.
weird.
If we have, my wife's a twin, so I'm scared. I have nightmares that our second one's a twin.
Shit,
I have
you
to
got
say-
the gene.
Yeah,
I'm
It's
always
in the
weird
blood.
about odd numbers, though. Not for any reason, just for like rides at Disney and flights.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I'm
you're
always
right.
weird about like odd numbers.
I
but
always said like we wanted 2 or 4. Little did I know.
they said okay.
Okay.
You went from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe when I was pregnant with the twins. I literally had to go to like a heart doctor because I was always out of breath. I'm like, it was the worst. I mean, I would not wish twin pregnancy on anyone under 5 feet.
I was literally just gonna say because
Yeah,
you're
Emily's
so tiny.
4'10". That's troubling.
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
scared of
But
it too.
twins don't run in my family, so that was just lucky.
Wow.
Hashtag
Mackins
blessed.
got some good swimmers.
But when it comes to like how many kids we want, if there's one thing I've learned about one, and I'm not showing disrespect to family of 2, 4 kids over there, right?
We're judging you. It's
You
fine.
always. I think you'll always figure it out somehow.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
when Emily was pregnant and people were like, "You've never known a love until you've had a kid." Like that was one thing I was like, "Well, I can only imagine, right? I can
Yeah.
imagine."
Yep.
It. But then when I held her,
It's true,
heart
that's right.
opened up, whole other channel, whole thing. Same with I think time and effort, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
"How am I ever going to have time to do this?" We figured it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I
And
always laugh.
Is it perfect? No, but like you figure it out because you have to.
And then my friends at the time, because we were very young when we had Dominic, I laughed.
How old were you?
I was
25,
24.
26?
24?
No, maybe.
I was 24.
Maybe.
Sure.
That was not a fart. That
Leather
Did I get
chairs
picked
here
up
at
on the
Go
mic?
Window Media.
again.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, she did it again.
You can do that on command?
I will die.
That's
I don't
impressive.
even fart in front of him.
I
No,
don't.
facts.
I will
do it.
not. I
Period.
Okay.
My
Period.
mom
Never
as
happened.
wide as
No.
I can. It's like,
Hold on.
Never
Wait a
happened.
minute, and you neither. You've
No.
never.
I will not.
Okay.
I
So
will not. And if I do it while I'm sleeping, I'll wake up. Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
is there somebody outside? Did somebody fart outside our window?
No, it had to have been Kevin.
no.
Big, we have a 2-story. I think there's somebody outside. On the ladder.
Not.
I would have lied. I would have
Ripping
said
ass.
absolutely not.
Kevin.
Absolutely
Now I
not.
got Kevin.
No, yeah,
Yes.
100%. Jaden
That's
was like,
shocking.
Jaden was like 10 years old, and he's like, so like, moms don't poop. I'm like, no,
No.
literally not.
Scientifically
Girls
proven.
do not.
Oh
So
my
sorry.
God.
Amy and I are so close, but you know your boundaries. Amy and I, bathroom humor, never. I never go
don't
that
find it
way.
funny. I don't-
And,
I hate
and
it.
like it doesn't matter. Like I'll have everybody does.
I-
At work, your stomach's upset, right? You got to go to the bathroom. I won't even tell. I'll be like, I have to go to the restroom, and then an hour and a half later, I have to go back to the restroom. And I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna walk back in and be like, even if I can't even
No,
say it in
I
front
wouldn't.
of her.
I don't even want to hear like
You
that.
know what I mean? I can't even like how you would be casually like, oh yeah, really, blah 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 blah.
No,
I wouldn't
we
even
can't,
ever
no.
dare
We're the same way.
say those words in front of her,
No.
and it's the weirdest thing because my relationship with my wife is the exact opposite.
Is it
weirdly.
really?
Yeah, we are way too comfortable
Oh my
around
gosh,
each other.
that's so great for you.
I know, but it's weird.
And your
It's not
digestive
weird.
system.
It should be. When I'm at home and if I have a stomach ache and I go to the bathroom, I'm like, he'll walk by to go to the bathroom, like, do not go in there. Something. Don't go in there.
No, my
I don't
favorite
even
is
want
just
to
when-
test
Yeah,
that
yeah.
No,
it
my
happens.
favorite is when you just hear me like entering, like going upstairs. It's just no, 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 no.
When I'm upstairs, I tell him, no, don't come up here. No.
I will go into a bathroom. Can't even believe I'm admitting this, that like it even happens. But I will go into a bathroom where I know for sure, like if I go in Jaden's, like he'll be at school, or if like nobody's home, I'll go to like the farthest bathroom ever possible
Yeah.
in my house.
Yeah.
I would
Shame.
never.
The shame we feel.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't get it. It's
I hate
just,
it.
I hate it.
I think it's normal to hate it. I
Even
hate
when
it.
it's happening, like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah,
But also, can I lose some lbs
Yeah,
if this
please.
is
I'll
happening?
do it for that purpose.
yeah.
Flu, sure. Thank you.
Well, the other thing Amy and I never really ever broach is sex. Anything sex related, and it's not really
Wait,
like
you don't
Until
talk
now,
about
okay,
we don't
it?
talk about it or have it with each other.
Not only with each other, just in general.
Period. Done.
We were
The
talking
amount
about
of
this.
trust our spouses have in each other, and clearly we are brother and sister. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's never even been a thought, but like people might have ever thought that at one
I
point. We
don't
spend
know.
so much time together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there's never been a suspicion. We go to lunch like multiple days a week. We would leave a morning show with each other and call each other on the way home from
Yeah.
work.
Just
Like,
like we did it the other
That's
day.
adorable.
right. We do it all the time. But like, it was not too long ago. We were on FaceTime, my wife and I, with Amy, and she was talking about. You have to tell this story about what Romy found.
What?
Remember what he found in your closet?
Does it vibrate?
What?
No, remember it was like some sort of nurse's hat or something.
Oh, I told the story.
Yes.
I told the story. So I was cleaning out my closet, things I don't use anymore.
Who needs that?
And I think the whole originally the joke was it was from Shein. And
Yeah.
it was a nurse's outfit full of lead. Couldn't wait to wear it.
Oh, I'm
Couldn't
sure.
wait to wear it.
Microplastics everywhere.
And so I'm throwing a bunch of stuff out of my closet and like cop outfit, firefighter, attorney, real estate agent.
I thought you were just supporting first responders at first.
Yes.
So very good for you. Real estate. That's very nice
Real
here at the
estate
Galileo.
agent.
What does a realtor
Yeah,
look
wear hat
like?
here
Pencil
sometime.
skirt and
Name tag.
with a card with my face on it. And Roman grabbed, I didn't realize this, he was in my bedroom and he threw on the nurse's hat or like, I don't even know what it was, visor, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
And he said, look, I'm a doctor. and I'm
my
like,
God.
oh, take
Yes,
it off, take
you
it off,
are.
take it off. But also let me take a picture first.
Yeah.
And then take it off, take it off.
So
yeah.
Amy tells us this story, and we're on FaceTime, and she's laughing, and Emily's laughing, and I'm pretending to get busy the way a dad does
Yeah.
when their daughter is like talking about something they don't want. Like
Yeah.
he's all of a sudden like
Yeah.
interested in the
Clean.
dishes.
Yeah.
Right,
You know,
right,
after
right,
they've
right.
had it, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got that thing
Oh
too.
my God,
I'm
how
gonna
funny.
leave. And
Yes.
Amy's like, Jeff, where are you? I'm like, I'm over. It's all good.
I'm not-
I
I
don't
don't
even
hear
hear.
this.
I forgot how weird it was for you.
It was.
Yeah, it was
I
really,
didn't
really
expect it to be as weird as it
We,
was. It's
so
just,
before we got here, we were talking. Speaking of TikTok and news, that's where I get my news as well. This is very like this girl that decided to sleep with 100 men in one day.
Yes.
Are you so
Crazy.
invested?
Invest. I watched.
my
I
heart-
watched a 25-minute like the documentary.
Can you send it to me because
Yes.
I watched part of it and I'm like I feel
She's
bad.
doing 1,000 in like 2 days.
I'm like this
No,
girl.
she's
Like
not.
literally doing 1,000
I'm
men.
like 100. I'm like we barely get once a month in. Like if
Yeah.
we're lucky. Like how this whole thing is. It's very upsetting for me. But I'm also like. I don't know. Is that a lucky man that is with somebody who's that sexually active? Because I'm not like. Because I said it on our last podcast. He ovulates every day. Like he literally could. Like he has that desire every day. I'm like.
Yeah.
2 times a month. I'm like, I'm initiating twice. You have to work the next
1,000%. Yes, because I need to feel wanted. So.
Yeah. And don't walk by me without grabbing my butt because we're done.
Yes.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yes. And if I put jeans on 1 day a week, no, I don't do that.
No.
Once a month, put
That's
jeans
asking
on.
way
You
too
better
much.
say you look hot.
You look great. Good for
Yes.
you. Nice jeans. So
I have to take some
Notice.
notes here.
Yeah.
My
No,
wife
you do.
works from home. I don't even think she knows where her jeans are right now.
I'm telling you, I looked like Post Malone for the first like 3 years of of the twins. Like just posty. The kids look great, but I'm like, how do you even want to?
This is when I got dressed. When I got dressed for the event, I went to go give Patrick a hug and a kiss, and he said, "Wait a minute, I'm married. Who are you?"
Wow. You did look fantastic, by the way.
Great.
You look amazing.
But he honestly was like, "Wow, I haven't seen you wearing clothes in such a long time."
Well, you looked amazing. It was worth the. I'm proud of him. I think you should have kept the nurse's hat for him. Then you could dress it for you. I would love to see Patrick in that outfit.
He might do it if the price is right.
Do you still try now that the kids are like? Do you attempt, or is it just kind of like Starfish?
What do you mean try? Like with the
Like,
with
do
the
you
costumes?
like like outfits?
No.
Oh, so you don't do that?
No, costumes. Maybe taking my hoodie off.
Taking the face off.
Maybe.
Yeah, but now they make the Spanx with a little crease in the.
Oh, the hole.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
fine.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Easy access though.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Every once in a while, I'll get brave. And I'll do it, and then I'll put it on and be like, fuck this shit. I don't even want to look at myself in this.
100% facts.
E for effort. I like the
How
creativity.
is it with children that like aren't in a crib though? That would scare the living hell out of me.
Oh,
Because
we
now
lock the door.
we
Late
got
at
the
night.
monitor on, so I know like if she's gonna like no baby. This is what they said when we first had the little one. And if you're really stressed out and you feel like you just are about to lose your mind,
Sure,
like
sure.
no baby can die from crying. Just
Yep.
take a
Yes.
step back.
Yep,
Right?
yep.
So like if we're ever like getting in the mood and the baby's crying, I'm like, we're fine.
Yeah,
we're
but
fine.
you still have
but
to,
it's
like
not-
stay focused.
Yeah.
Right.
mental.
Oh yeah, it
That's-
totally
that's
takes you
not-
out of it.
I don't know. I'm
Totally
able to
takes
push
you out.
through.
Yeah. Because he like gets it once a month.
Laser focus.
He's like, not now, kids.
Energy.
This is daddy's time.
So you lock the door, right?
We lock the door, but also it's very awkward because we have to. Well, now the kids are all in school. When they weren't in school, we literally had. We would have to. Sometimes we.
It was only like late night opportunities.
Yeah,
really.
and then by the time they all went to sleep, it was like 10:30, and I'm asleep.
And nobody
so I'm
wants
like,
to-
sorry.
Yeah.
So my best advice is when you feel it, do it. So like if it's in the middle of the afternoon, do it because it sounds so sad. Like when we first started dating, we couldn't keep our hands off each other. Like we loved. Like I was worried that was the only thing we had between each other was that.
Yeah.
Which is whatever, and it was great. But then now we're married. How long have we been married?
Long enough.
What'll be?
It'll be 15 years.
15 years.
Oh my God.
And we've been together. How long?
19-ish. Whatever.
Something like
Wow.
that. And and things have gotten better because we've like learned each other better. That's more intimate. The time with each other is like more special because we're alone. But it's like once a month, like that I actually want to. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, come on, Danielle, let's
doing
go.
me a
Come on,
solid.
Yeah.
Come
Right,
on,
right, right.
focus, focus,
Right.
blood flow.
Game time.
I think you brought up a really good point. It's like I find intimacy with Emily in like other ways. It's like when we sit down and the baby's asleep and we have a glass of wine and we're watching our favorite show, like that's intimate, weirdly. Like, yes,
No,
okay,
of course
sex
it
is
is.
still going to be sex.
Of
but,
course
like,
it is.
He's taken, okay?
but there's an intimacy to that. And if she's not
Take notes.
Sounds like a different definition
Patrick's
of
like,
intimacy for
fuck
me.
off, Jeff.
having that makes the sex better, in my opinion. You know?
There was an
It
old,
does.
no joke, when I was bartending, this old guy, oh my God, he was so sweet, but also like kind of like creepy. But he would always say his wife, foreplays all day long. He would always say that, foreplays all day long. So if you want to get laid at
that's
the
a
end of
good
the
point.
night, you have to like do all the things, like
Yeah.
slap the ass, you look hot
Yeah.
in your sweatpants and your sweatshirt,
Yeah.
right? Like take care of the kids, do all
Yeah.
the things. And it's like, maybe I'll...
That doesn't work for me.
I do all of those things and it doesn't work.
then
What
I'll
is your
do it to
love
him.
language, though?
I don't really know anymore.
It changes.
It changes.
Sleep.
You know what though? When he lets me sleep in, I wake up. I'm like, "You want to do it?" Because I'm breasted.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
yes, it's 9:45. Everyone's up running around asking for
I
waffles.
also-
I would love to right now.
I always ask him to at the inopportune time, so he's saying no, not me.
Yeah, that's like your game.
When he's working,
Yeah.
like I'm like, "You want?" He's like, "I'm on a conference
Oh,
call."
that's a great
said no, not
play.
me.
Great play.
said no.
But then I
I
would
don't do-
counter it to myself, be like, Amy,
You
you
gotta
can't even
do
stay.
it.
No. I would ask it in an opportune time for him, right? And then if he says no, then like the next time, like, well, you said you didn't want to have sex with me.
Yeah.
You said it. You said you did not want to. So
Yeah.
now obviously I'm not worthy.
Yep, I know. That's probably what I would do.
Therapy.
too. Yeah, we need to go.
Yeah.
just
You know what's
need to-
so funny about you, Amy, and Danielle, you're the same way too. Like, you guys are so... I listen to the show. I've been on a show with you for years. you're so forward thinking to be able to be like, I know I'm that fucked up that I'm like offering at this time and then I'm using it against you, but I'm not gonna change.
Right.
Because I still offered.
We love the self-awareness.
You know, they always say like the first step in solving problems is admitting there is one.
Right.
But you guys are both on step one.
But that's it. I'm not going any further. I will
Here's
never
the
go any
problem.
further.
It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hi.
then there's nothing else happening.
Yeah.
No.
Makes sense.
But when it does happen, it happens.
Oh yeah, it happens.
It happens.
All 3 minutes of hurt.
Thank you for that, though, because any longer I'm like so tired.
Please make it fast. Please make it fast.
What happened? Why?
I'm tired.
I used to sneak to do it. Now it's just like, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. Don't get married.
Yeah, Joseph, don't listen to any of this.
I'm still terrified.
Oh my God, the poor
No,
kid.
just find someone like my sister. She likes it all.
Yeah.
That's
My
actually fact.
sister Maria.
Shout
Have
out
you
to
met
Maria.
Maria?
I never met her. Heard her on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heard her on the show.
She's wild.
Maria
Yeah.
is crazy.
She's-
When we would visit Vegas, right? Was it a visit? I think it was a visit. And we were in the Rio, and she would walk up and just touch ankles with people walking past her and pretend that they tripped her and fall down onto the ground on purpose, so that the person would turn around and say, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Can I
And
bite you?
sometimes she would say like, "No, I'm not okay."
Oh my
And then
God.
sometimes she would just get up and like walk away. But
Nice
she,
meet
Didn't
cute
she
there.
also do the touching the back of people's heads? when
random,
she
just
walked
walking
by?
past.
While
Oh,
they're
that's
gambling?
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some serial killer stuff right
Yeah,
there.
that's some creepy
she
stuff.
definitely is a
She's the one that picked, when I moved to Vegas, she picked me up in her green car. Was it green?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it was a green car. She picked me up in the airport. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You're just moved to Vegas.
Maria's picking me up in her
Let me see if I can
boogermobile.
send your cousin-in-law. She's 19. She'll get you.
She's drunk.
And she drove on every the bumps, the little bumps
Yeah.
in our, what are they even called?
The
rumble strips on the side?
Yeah.
No,
No.
that keep you
The-
in
the-
lanes.
Oh,
The
gosh,
little
yeah.
circle
What are the
dots.
names?
She drove on those
Braille.
from what are they called?
Road braille.
I don't. Actually, I mean, yeah.
I wonder what they're trying to tell us.
I know. She drove
Yeah.
on those from the airport to Town Center in 215 on them and said, "Man, they really got to fix this road." And she drove on it on purpose for 20 miles.
That's crazy.
Gotta let the bit land.
Did you just say that?
This is great. This is great.
Maria
Oh,
probably
that's
thought it was
so
so fun.
She did. She did.
absolutely
She used to
did.
do the dumbest shit too.
Oh my
God.
God.
And you liked her. Like I was terrified of her.
When we started dating, she would call. We were what, 20? We were 20 when we met, so she was 18 or so.
Yeah.
She would be upset if I sat in the front seat because she needed to ride shotgun.
Oh
And
my
she would
god.
throw like a fit in the back and like start like a real fight with her.
And kick the seat.
If me or if another friend sat up front.
In my Mustang, like in high school, there was the latch, right? And it
Yes,
made
yes.
it fall down. So if one of my friends or my cousin was up front and they rode shotgun before, she would she would lift the latch and just kick the seat. So the person in the front seat, the whole ride to school just
So mature.
Maria, stop. She's like, well, you should have let me sit up front.
See, that was me with my sister because we smoked cigarettes like back in the day, and she would smoke Marb Reds, but I thought that was such trash because I was a Marb Light smoker.
Oh.
So like on our way to school, I would lock her window so she couldn't put it down to smoke a cigarette. I was like, "You're trash. Let me just smoke my Marb."
Wow.
Oh my God, it's crazy though.
God.
Let's just pray our daughters are not like Maria.
Man.
Even though she's great now, she's a Montessori teacher.
Wow.
If you want your
Rags
kids to learn how
to
to.
riches.
Yes.
If there's any episode of yours that triggers all of my friends, it's that one.
Oh, Maria.
Have you listened to both Maria episodes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Oh God, she's
I
a
totally
Montessori
forgot those
teacher.
names.
Yeah, they hired her. She doesn't have a degree. She just.
It's just a way of her like still being able to be around her kids all day.
Oh God, that's so funny.
Oh my Lord.
Poor Maria. She likes when we talk shit about her though. So.
Yeah.
Oh, she loves every minute of it.
Yeah, she's like a.
She just like
She even like the shit she does. Like she does a lot of crazy mom shit. She does it for the
Why
shock
are you
value.
doing
oh
that?
yeah.
So that people are like, you're stupid. Why are you letting your daughter put the mugs away on the counter without? She's 18 months trying to put the mugs away on the without a ladder, and she's like
The
30
shit
feet
she
away
lets these-
filming.
I mean, they're very independent,
Yeah.
but And then she complains about how hard she works. I'm like, your kids do everything.
But also good for you.
Yeah, she did. She figured it out.
Did she marry somebody like Makin?
Yes, Joey, but he's more blue collar. Like he's the more rough and tumble than me.
But
I
is
got soft
he
fingers.
the calm influence in the household, so to speak?
Not as calm as me, but he's much more straight and narrow than Maria.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like
I mean, I don't know anybody that
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
straight and narrow than Maria.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
true.
God.
It's not saying a lot. But
And we're
yes.
not even talking about her sex life because that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole other that you guys know.
Yes.
She's
We need a whole other
wild.
podcast for that. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that became so about Maria, but
She would
loves
appreciate
it.
it.
She
because
loves
she's good content. She'll call me random. She's like, I just came up with an idea that I could talk about on your podcast. I'm like, Maria, I'm taking a shower. She's like, no, but you need to hear this right now. Think about when people wash their hair and they have conditioner in their hair, and then it goes on their face after they wash their hair. I think you should tell people that they shouldn't be washing their face first. And I'm like, Maria, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Never crossed my mind.
Just calls me with ideas for us.
I will say that was Jeff and I when we were together. They told us that we had to write diaries every night. Remember, they're like, write your diary
Yeah.
about everything you
Morning
did
show
today,
diaries,
so
yeah.
that we could like figure out like what's going on for the show, anything we can pick up, you relate to, blah blah blah. And we're like, nah, we just text
We're good.
all day, every day about random shit that happened.
It was probably so
I mean-
easy. You just walked in and sat down and talked.
Well, I would walk in at 4:59. And we went live at 5.
Yeah.
Jeff had been there for an hour getting everything
Facts.
ready,
Pretty
pushing the
standard.
buttons.
Facts,
Pretty standard.
yes. I walk in with my backpack and I'd like throw it down and say good morning.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, welcome.
But
How
you
are
need
you?
value. You add value. There's value there. So
Yeah.
much value. Because
And
imagine.
she, I don't know if you know this because her uncle's a drummer. She's a drummer too. Because when she comes through with her water bottle, clank, 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 clank,
Symbol.
clank, clank. All right, let's go. I mean, this girl's
a water bottle or a
percussionist.
wine bottle.
Oh my!
Both.
All of the
So
above.
Jeff is a good dad because he had to like father me for 4.5 years. So he's like,
He was
Amy, be on
pre-dad.
time.
Now
Amy,
it's
do
all
this.
coming back. It's
Yes.
all coming back when
You're
you said that.
welcome.
I think
You
I was
are.
prepared to be a girl dad. Thank you.
Yeah, you
are.
I
You're
appreciate that.
welcome.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
we really appreciate you guys
Yeah, I feel
coming.
like we could sit here and do this all day long.
Forever. I
We
know.
only paid for an hour. So Jeff, if you could hit me with that Venmo.
I got you. Yeah, I got the overages. I got the overages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure. For
Next
sure.
year when you're in town for NFR, we'll do it again.
Yeah. Or I'll be. I think I'll make it back before then. Hopefully, that's the hope. That's the hope. So.
And you're still podcasting.
Yeah, shout out your dad.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
you should before we
Well, we have a
you're gonna
baseball
get so
podcast.
much publicity from
Danielle's
it.
a big
A lot of
listener.
crossover between making it with the Mackins and baseball fans. I know Mackin
I
is a
loved
fan.
him.
Most viewed at the time we were like a hit
Yeah.
on your podcast.
Big time.
I
big
felt
time.
very proud of us
So
for
we
that.
have Is This a Great Game or What? It's my baseball podcast with my dad, and we just finished our first season. It was so much fun.
How cute.
And of course, if you're in Vegas, you have to be listening to Aimee. She's
Yeah. If
incredible.
If you're in Vegas and you have a business here, you can sponsor Centennial Bulldogs football team.
Yeah.
Team mom.
Just email us, sponsor the hill at
It's true.
gmail.com.
Oh, Gmail.
Is that what it's called? SponsorTheHill@gmail.com?
Yeah.
You
I
got
love
Google
that you-
Drive?
I did no.
No.
No. But we accept donations.
Yeah, and
Love that.
Aimee is on the radio every morning on 102.7 VGS.
Yeah.
And Danielle, you pop in there sometimes
Yeah,
too.
when Sean takes break, I'm happy to hop in.
That's one
and give
place
all the
she's
cold
happy to
hard
hop in.
facts. One, yes, I'm actually very eager to get there when I can.
Even early in the morning.
Yes.
Not with me.
Again,
But thank you guys. We love you.
Thank you.
We
for
love
having
you
us.
guys.
thanks.
Thank
Okay,
you for listening.
thank you.
Thank you
Did we hit
so
5
much.
on the nose? Close.
I think so.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Bro, you didn't like nod at me or anything. I'm like, did he see that? I was like,
Oh, we saw
I
it.
didn't see shit. I think.
like they saw
I
it. They're
did.
like,
Yeah.
they nodded at me.
I saw.
I was
Yeah.
over here like, please look this way, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Bro.
I was
Look here.
stressing.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't want to get married no more.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
dude.
Sorry.
Sorry for ruining.